Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the next part of the social media app. So, in the previous tutorial, we have seen how to register and log in. So, first of all, let me just do one thing. Let me just go to the services and write all the APIs. So, first was the register, the second was the login, and next is basically to fetch the post. So, I will copy this over here and I will say fetch post over here, and when it comes to the fetching the post, it will not take any payload, and API endpoint over here will be post, and it will not have any part, and it will take the header. Okay, so when it comes to the fetching the post, I want authenticated user to only the authenticated user to fetch the post. So I will say the headers, and when it comes to the headers, I will assign this particular function. Okay, so it will fetch the token from the local storage. So we have seen over here how to set up the token during the registration process. Over here, this token has been set, so it will get that token from the local storage, and it will put that inside of the headers. Okay, when fetching the post, then I will have one more to create the post. So when it comes to the creating the post, there is not much difference between both the things. So I will say create post, and API endpoint will be post, and then create over here, and then it will take the payload. Okay, so I will explain you all how this payload is working. So it will take the payload, like how we have sent a payload for the register and the login. Same way it will take the payload, and the last parameter will be the headers. Okay, it will take the headers because I want only authenticated user to create the post, and unauthorized person I don't want. I mean, user who has not registered login, I don't want those people to create the post. So that's why I am putting this header. And next, what we have over here is to like the post. So when it comes to the liking the post, I will again have the same route. So it will take the post ID, and post, and this is our endpoint, and it will not take the payload, and headers is the same. And next we have the export constant comment on the post. So basically I want a user to comment on the post. So I will come over here and I will say comment on the post, and it will take the post ID, and the comment data it will take, and it will have one more parameter comment. And when it comes to the payload, it will take this comment data as a payload over here. I will send a payload as a comment data, and it will have the header. Okay, so this post ID it will use on the route, and the comment data will is basically a payload which will go in the backend. So this is all about it. And the next is following the user. So basically we will have the four more functions to follow the user, unfollow the user, fetch the explore page users, and fetch user by the ID. Okay, so these are some of the functions which we have to write. So I will come over here and I will say follow user, and it will take the user ID. It will basically take the user ID, and it route is basically the user, and it will take this user ID over here, and then I will have the follow as a route, Over here, there won't be any payload. Payload will be basically empty. And over here, headers. I just hope header spelling is right. Yeah, it's right. And next we have the unfollow users. And when it comes to the unfollowing the users, I will have this unfollow route over here, and rest of the path will be almost same, I guess. And then we have the explore fetching the explore page users. So I will come down below, and I will say fetch explore users, fetch explore users. Then the path will be over here, user, and explore, and my headers will be same. The function would have thrown error. Okay, so next will be to fetch the user based upon the ID. So I will paste the same route, and I will say fetch user by ID. And when it comes to the fetching the user by ID, it will have the user over here, and then it will take this user ID, and it is not having this particular part here also. This won't be there, and yeah, all our functions are ready, I guess. So now what I will do, I will show you how to design this explore page over here. So as of now, explore page is empty. So I will go to my explore page and start designing it. So when it comes to the explore page, it will have some of the functions and HTML code. Okay, so I will do one thing. I'll go to the register. I will copy this. I'll go to the explore page. I will copy, paste, and I will be in need of this function. Okay, so I will say import, and one more thing I have to do the explore.css. I have to import this, and there are one more few more things, which is the follow users and unfollow users. I have to import these particular functions as well, because I will be following and unfollowing the users from this explore page. It's like a discovery page from which I'll be discovering the different users. So yeah, and when it comes to writing the code, I will show you all how to do that. So first of all, let me just give the class name over here. I will say explore container, and I will say explore users over here. Okay, so explore users, and then I will have my unordered list, and inside of this unordered list, I will have the users which I will fetch. So when it comes to the fetching the users, first of all, I have to uh, get all these users. Okay, so for that purpose, I will go to top of my page, and I will say constant users, set users. I will try to fetch the users. So in order to fetch the users, I will make use of the use effect hook over here. Use effect. So, and use effect hook which I'm making use of, I have to import it over here, and inside of this use effect I will try to fetch the users. So I will say constant fetch users. So this will be my async function, and inside of this async function I will try to get response. I will say fetch explore page users, and I will set those users over here, and I have to make this function call inside of this use effect, and done. And put the square brackets over here because I don't want this API call to happen every single time when a change happens in the page. And yeah, so my users will be fetched. Then I will go down below over here and I will try to render those users. I will start mapping them. I will say the users dot map, and then I will take the individual user over here. I will take the individual user, and I will try to list them. So when it comes to the listing the user, I will make use of the list item over here, and then inside of this list item there will be header, and over here I will display the username, and then we have the paragraph tag for displaying the email. So let me just save and go and check on my explore page. So API user explore, it is saying not found. Let me just refresh. So user explore page is not there, it is saying. So I have to go and check what's the issue actually. It's get request, sorry. Message port closed. Okay, so basically I'm getting the data over here, but okay, so I'm getting the response for data. Let me see what's the issue. It is not fetching. Users.map, not at least. So I'm getting the data in the console, but I'm not getting the data on my browser page. I will check its issue. Okay, so I'm getting the data over here, but during the rendering process, I think some issues going on. So we'll see now what's the issue. So let me just write some extra code, and I will give the class name over here. I give the class name as a user list, and let me see why this user list is not getting rendered. Okay, so user list is over here. So I will try to apply some styling to this user list so that it is becoming visible. Okay, so First of all, let's just go to the explore container. And when it comes to the explore container, I will give the padding as a 2REM, and then the background color, I will give the background color as white over here, and I will give the mean height, will give the mean height as 100 VH, and this will go to the explore container. And after that, after the explore container, we have to check for the other style. I will go directly go to the user list, and user list. Let me see what style I can apply for the user list over here. So user list will basically give me the items in the form of a list, and list list. I will give the list style type as a none, and padding will be 0. Okay, so this is the style which I will apply on the user list. But I'm not getting the data, that's the issue, so I will go and check that's the issue. By the way, okay, so here it's not the curly braces, it's round braces. Okay, so now I'm getting the data. So this was the issue. I made a mistake during the render process. This is not required anymore, so now my user is getting displayed, so I have to create more users to show the more data over here. And yeah, this is the list item, and when it comes to this particular user, this user will have the follower and the following array, so I have to display the followers and the following of this particular user. So I will come down below, and then I will say the user dot user dot is following, and I put a custom mark, and then I will make use of the button over here. Okay, so now I have to show the button, and if the user is following, then I have to show the button of the unfollow, and I will give the class name over here, and I will give the unfollow button over here, and then I will use the on click. I will give the on click over here, and I have to write a function for that. So basically, there will be like two parts, so one to follow and one to unfollow. So I will have the one more button over here, and this button will say follow. Okay, so this will be like follow button. Let me just okay, so I have to write the functions for this. So I have to write functions now inside of this on click. So I will use the pointer function, and I will say handle follow, and I will be following that particular user. So I will pass ID of that particular user. Okay, so I have to repeat the same process for this as well, and I will say handle follow, and over here I have to handle unfollow. Okay, so in this particular page, it will show the users, it will show all the user profile except your profile. Okay, so I have already explained this in the, while developing the backend code, how this is happening. So if I click on this follow button now, I'll be following this particular user. Before that, I have to go and write these functions. So I will come up over here and I will start writing the functions. So I will say constant and then follow over here, and I will make use of the async function, and I will take this user ID. Okay, so user ID which I am passing from here. So I will take the user ID over here, and to this user ID, I will first make my try and catch. I will console log the error if I encounter an error, and I will make use of the await, and I will call this function which I have already written in the API section, and I will pass the user ID. I will pass this particular user ID, and after that I will set user. I will say users.map. I will take individual user, and I will check the user ID. Okay, so I will check whether the user ID matches this particular user ID, and if it is matching, then I have to follow this particular user. Okay, so I will make use of the spread operator over here, and is following parameter which is there, I will turn it to true. So and if not, then I will pass the user. Okay, so what is happening over here? Wait a minute, there is some issue. Why am I getting this error? I have done some mistake in opening and closing these brackets. Okay, so now let me just tell you what is happening over here. So this is a user object. Okay, so first of all, what I will do, I will reset all my users. So I have to follow this particular user ID which I am passing from here. Okay, so it will be basically the user ID of this particular user which I'm passing via this button, and then it will come to this parameter user to user ID, and to this user ID, what I'm doing over here, user to follow, I will go to this function, that ID I will get over here, and I will pass that ID in the API call. I have shown you all in the backend how to follow the user. So I will pass that ID over here, and I'll be able to follow that particular user. But now, if suppose I have followed that user, I have to update this particular users also, whatever is present over here. I have to change the status in the UI. So for that purpose, I have to update the data in the front end side. So what I will do, I will map all the users and user ID, uh, all the users ID. I will check all the users ID underscore ID, which matches with this particular user ID over here. And if it matches, then I will copy that particular user object, which is basically, let me just refresh and show you. Okay, now I'm getting some error because of the check the render method. Okay, so over here, if I just go down, and when it comes to the list items over here, I have to give the key. Okay, so when it comes to the mapping, we have to make sure there is this unique key ID inside of this mapping function. Okay, so I will give the user dot underscore ID, and this should solve the issue. Okay, it's gone now. So now what I will do, I got all these users over here. So let me just give the console of the user. and show you all the user data. So when it comes to this user data, there is an email, following followers, password, email, ID, and whatever that is. So now when it comes to the setting this user data, first of all, I will use the spread operator to copy the user object. Okay, so basically I'm copying this entire object which is present over here. Okay, I'll copy this entire object, and at the end I will give the is following is equal to true. Okay, so it's like is following it will be already there, and at the end I am just telling the is following is equal to true. Okay, so it will whatever is the is following which is there inside of this user object, it will this parameter will override it, and I will get my is following. Okay, so this is all about that. And next we have this handle unfollow. So the method will be almost same, so I will copy this. I will copy this and give the name handle unfollow over here. And instead of the follow users, I will give this particular method which is unfollow the users. And instead of the set users, I will use the same method, and instead of this, it will be false. Okay, so method is almost same. So let me just go and check. I will just click on follow, and okay, so now that can be seen under the following, I'm having my ID. Okay, so this is my profile via which I have logged in. Now if I go and check under the following, I'm getting this user. Okay, so this is being done. And next, suppose I want to register more users, I can do that. This is all about the explore page. And now I will write some styling. So this list item is there over here. I'll give the class name as a user item, and I will go to my style, and I will write the style for this user item. I will give the background color. I'll give the background color as white over here. Padding as 1 rem. I will give the margin bottom, and again I will give the margin at the bottom as 1 rem over here. I will give the border radius as 8 pixels. Box shadow I will give, which is 0, 0.4 pixels, 6 pixels RGBA, and the value which I will give over here 0, 0, 0, 0.1. And I will give the display property. I will use the display flex over here. I want to show them in a row, and I will give the flex direction. I want to change the direction to the column. Flex direction is a column over here, and align item center. Okay, so this is my first user items have been done. And next, let me just check what I can do over here to the explore page. So unfollow button and the follow button is there. So I will come down below, and then we have the users h2. Okay, so we have to apply the styling to this h2. And I will give the margin over here. I will give the margin as 0, 0, one REM. And I will give the color as Xcode 0007 VFF, and yeah, that's done. So H2 has been changed now. So now I have to do the same thing for the paragraph. So paragraph is basically the email. So I will do this. So over here, what is happening is so here is my class name, and paragraph is inside of it. Okay, so class name and then the element name. So I have given the class name, then the element name over here. Okay, and for the paragraph, I will give the margin as 0.5 REM, and then the 0 over here, and I have to give the color. Okay, so I will give the 555. So this has also been changed, and follow and unfollow button is there. So I will write the style for this to simultaneously. So I will put the comma over here and unfollow button, and this is the follow button class, and to both of these things I will be writing the code simultaneously. I will do the padding at 0.75 REM and 1.5 REM over here. Then I will give the margin top. I will give the margin top as 1 REM. Border, none. I don't want to give any border. Let me just see. Okay. Border radius I will give as 4 pixels, and then we have the cursor pointer. The font size as 1 REM. Transition, background color will be there, and 0.3 seconds is okay. So let me just save this, and then I will apply the styling to this follow button and unfollow button. So I will copy this follow button style over here, and I will give the background color as this, and I have to give the color as white. I will give, and then we have the unfollow button. Background color I have to give as red. I will give, and color I will give as white over here, and on follow button on hover. So if when I'll be hovering on it, I want to give some effect. Okay, so I'll give the hover effect, and let me just change it to the some hex code C823, and over here I will give the DC35 45. Okay, so I follow the user. Let me see the issue. I'm not able to follow another user. And I'll do one more thing. I will try to display the followers and the following of the users. User dot followers dot length, because I want to show the length of the array, and this is followers, and this is the following. Okay, so zero followers, zero following, and I'm not able to follow the user. I have to check that's the issue. So over here, I was testing this thing, and unfollow request is not working fine. So I have to check what's the issue. So when it comes to the unfollowing the user, it will take the user ID. Headers, it will take. Let me just go to the unfollow users, and I think there is some issue with this user ID. Handle unfollows asynchronous requests and set users. Let me just try to follow the user. Some issue is there, but I can't make out why it is not working properly.